Welcome to Preparing for the Unexpected. Today, I'm going to be talking with Rina Singh, Head of Resilience and host of the Resilience Pod podcast. Rina, welcome back.
Thanks, Alex. Great to be here.
Now, I've got a few questions for you on our last segment here. And
Mhm.
one of the things I'd like to ask you is, um, do you have a success story that you're proud of that you'd like to share with us?
I've This is a really hard one. When you're asking me this question, it's like, gosh, there's loads of success stories, but I'm going to talk about the small success stories because when we hear about success stories, you think, oh, we as a business we had a massive incident and we survived it, etc. But I think a real success story is when you learn from micro incidents that happen and then how you learn each time and how your behavior changes and how your capability increases. So, for example, a year ago, at the organization I work for, had a heating issue, and trying to convene a site resilience group, a site business continuity plan, was hard work because nobody really knew who was responsible, who was leading. Like we all did a great job, but it was very labored and there was a lot of confusion on who was doing what and whatnot because the plan was outdated, people had moved on, responsibilities weren't rehearsed for a long time. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, another incident happened, and whilst it was going on in the head office, someone found out that a comms room had gone, like it was about to kind of like explode, like 60 degrees Celsius in a UK conversions. So it's quite hot, cold. The facility's called my crisis manager. He called me, and this is around like 7:25 on a weekday, 7:23 a.m. I quickly called the EIT director because it's their equipment. Called my executive, called my manager, and we all convened a site resilience group at for 9 o'clock that day. Got all the key people involved. I ran the whole incident as a site recovery chair in my PJs all day. And that is a success story because not only was escalation done so quickly, and we all answered our phone, just luckily, the fact that we were all able to get on a call for 9 o'clock the next day without actually checking our emails, because bearing in mind none of the teams were 24/7, so it was all done on goodwill. I picked up the phone and called someone and they answered, and you don't get rebuked for calling someone at 7:30 a.m. Just shows that that's a success story worth sharing. And it was funny because the next day all of us had a site resilience exercise to test our other offices business continuity plan. So we'd spent a good 12, 13 hours together dealing with a real incident, and then the next day dealing with a pretend one in our other offices, and it enhanced that capability. And doing that all while running in my PJ is just fantastic. I mean, we did talk about burnout and who would take over as me as a site recovery lead. We all had that built into our exercise. So I feel like very kind of minor things that get resolved quite quickly is a success. And the reason why it was a success is because the capability was inbuilt. It was the behavior, which is a common theme throughout this whole episode that I've been going on about, that actually it worked because no one looked at the plan. Yes, my business continuity partner said, Rina, are we invoking the business continuity plan for the site? And I said, oh, yes, we are. And we're going to do this. And then we realized some of the stuff wasn't actually relevant to us. We need to change the way we write meetings, or we give a situational report to executives, stuff like that. We rehearsed it in real life that actually our capability was way better than it was 1 year ago, for example. So I love that because it wasn't really a big incident for us.
I like that. All these lessons learned and incidents to learn from don't have to be big,
Hmm.
big events. They don't have to
Yeah,
be making the headlines and papers. They can be smaller things that you can learn, and you
yeah.
can learn and grow the capabilities incrementally.
Hmm. I love it. It gave me a bit of a pump, but boy, I was knackered that whole week.
But at least you got to do it in your PJs.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I think we should celebrate the moral of this story is we should all celebrate the small things that happen because that actually makes us more resilient and better prepared, better confident to respond to any type of disruption in our business and well in our personal life too. By default, you're rehearsing that for yourself as well.
Yeah. I want to ask you about mentoring some of the
Hmm.
newer generation, shall we say, of
Yeah.
professionals that come in, because we've seen it even at conferences when you attend, you can visually see there's a lot of people
Mhm.
that are probably going to be leaving the field in the next 5 years, shall we say,
Yeah.
5 to 10 years. So how should we go about mentoring the new people coming in? Because there's going to be a lot of knowledge that's going to leave. What can we do to make sure that the new generation is prepared to take the mantle and move the industry forward?
Mhm. I want to start with a caveat that the new generation needs to take accountability of wanting to do that first, because action is it's my responsibility or the other person's responsibility. And then it's our responsibility as seasoned professionals when someone contacts you that you try to help them in any way you can. And for example, when I go to conferences, I will try and talk to as many people as I can, especially people younger than me, to find out what they're doing. And if they request a meeting, I will meet them. I've done that recently and throughout last year, helped someone talk, give them my time for coffees, gave them saw an opportunity to be part of Women in Resilience. That person's in the committee now, thinking that you should do this. Just even encouragement, even a space on coming on like a podcast, for example. I've done that for so many young professionals who have given them a space to share their ideas and their thought leadership that has led to other opportunities. Some people have even talked about an idea and turned it into a business from coming on my podcast. So we all have a part to play. I think if you just give 10, 15 minutes of your time, you might help someone in a way that you don't even realize that confidence boost helps because I personally feel, Alex, when I was starting out in the field, I don't think a lot of people were that open, but the networking was very different. It was very face to face, and so you had to set yourself apart. Now, when people approach me on LinkedIn, yeah, I'll message them if they're interested. We have a chat. I mean, I don't do it to everyone. Gosh, like imagine you spend your whole day talking to lots of new people, but you can tell who's really interested in wanting to pursue opportunities to find out more. So those people give them the time of day, and then it's up to the new generation to take that opportunity because you're not going to get things handed on a plate. So let's be real there too.
Yeah.
Everyone has a responsibility to progress your own agenda, your own career, and getting a mentor to help you see something slightly differently helps. But you have to put in the effort. So I'm a registered mentor. A lot of the times people want a mentor, but they don't want to put in the work.
Just be
Or they
told
want to
what
be
to do.
told. Yeah, and it's not about being told what to do. You need to take ownership and accountability and drive things forward. That's how you're going to become a leader. You're not going to become a leader because, oh, I think you're great. Here's the opportunity. Yes, that can be partially true, but taking that accountability and ownership of things will help the next generation. And then, as seasoned professionals, giving someone that time if they ask you, it's not going to hurt if you
Yeah.
have the capability and capacity to do so, obviously.
And if you are to the newer, younger generation, shall we
Yeah.
say, the don't be afraid to ask questions as well.
Yeah.
Because you're new, you have the advantage of seeing things with fresh eyes.
Yes.
So, let's say myself, I've seen the same thing over and over and over and over again, that sometimes blinders are on that you don't even know are there.
Yeah.
So if fresh eyes can suddenly say, "Hey, were you aware of that over there?" Like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't even see that." Hey, that's great. So don't be afraid to ask questions, with different perspectives, because you're going to help move things forward. And we're all here
Yeah.
for the same reason, and that's to reduce the suffering of our,
Mhm.
our work colleagues, our communities, ourselves, our organizations.
Yeah, it's that resiliency through relationships too. So yes, you might want someone as a mentor, you want some information, but it goes two ways as well. You can mentor a young person can mentor me, for example, because you're learning something. Right to your point, Alex, but it's not a it's not a take situation as well. So just be mindful of that. 'Cause I do get a lot of pushy emails as well. Like, I want, I want your thoughts on this 1,000 word essay. Okay. Hello. What is your name? Have you taken the time to introduce yourself? Where's the resiliency through relationship? If you want that investment, provide a bespoke investment to reaching out to the person that you admire or you want to get or what they want to be your mentor. Like, make it be so good that they can't ignore you.
So you heard it here. Introduce yourself first, then send Rena the 1,000 word essay. So the last question I have for you, Rena, is uh, how can AI, or what are your thoughts on AI and resilience and business continuity? Can it help
Mm.
us? What are your thoughts on it?
I love this because I ask everyone this question too, and it's so fascinating. I do believe that it can help us. It can help automate a lot of data, help us show dependencies that we're saying, downstream, upstream. It can calculate things faster. It can guide us, but it can't replace AI. Hallucinates, right? There's a lot of negatives to it. It can be corrupted. It's only as good as the input that it's given. So I think with all the systems and processes, it's not going to replace human judgment and capability. Because if you're going to think like AI, then it's not really going to help you in making nuanced decisions that AI is not trained to do. So use it to help you be efficient, leverage it in ways to manipulate maybe data to help the business, for example, not actual manipulation, don't twist my words. Um, Use it, but don't let it do all the work for you. And funnily enough, people ask, like, there's a lot of people, and I have this debate with my partner, and it's like, oh, AI is going to take all our jobs. And I'm like, well, when's it going to take my domestic job? I'd love that. Um, Please do come and take that away. But it's well, you need someone to drive it. I don't believe that you can just automate, like, for example, a whole business continuity or resilience program. You can't. Not yet, anyway. So my thoughts are very open. Alex,
Yeah,
nothing really controversial. I think we should be adopting it. We shouldn't be afraid. We should understand the risks are, not trust it blindly, question it, use it to your advantage when you can for efficiencies, but don't let it handle a real life situation, for example, because they don't know the nuances. It doesn't know the nuances of your business, your people, and everything else that comes in between that only you as a human know. Like, I know you, kind of, we had dinner together, we know, or lunch together, we know some of the things that we like. AI is not going to tell me that, is it? So it's that personal tweak.
yeah, I think that's what too many people think, that the response that AI generates is gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part. Well, if AI is coming up with an answer, that means you don't need my answer. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
like you said at the beginning there, AI is only spitting out what it knows. It doesn't know all this other stuff. So it's
Yeah,
not gospel. And
yeah,
so I don't think there's the risk of all these jobs disappearing suddenly. There was even a
yeah,
headline a little while ago, all the jobs, maybe
yeah.
Musk said something stupid like this. All the jobs are going to be gone in
Yeah, it
six
helps with
six months or something.
automation. Yeah, it helps with automation and things like that to make things more efficient. But at the end of the day, you can, for example, use it for training, like capability, because it does hallucinate, for example, in scenario building and stuff like that. But that's what we should be using it for, to make
Yeah.
yourself slightly better in the way you maybe verbalize or communicate, for example, or how you write, or how you then might want to respond to something that's a bit slightly sensitive. Again, being careful of what information you're putting in there, but it can. I feel like it's a if you don't adopt it, you're going to be left out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
leverage it for all those things that you mentioned as well.
yeah,
And boy, it really helps get
yeah.
get
But
through some of
the
the admin
caveat,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, the caveat is to everyone who's listening or watching this that it's growing rapidly, and you don't know what's going to change. So keep whilst you're using it and your organization and implementing policies around it to help you be more efficient, etc. Stay up to date with what's going on, what risks it's causing, and then how you can protect yourself from it as well. Because security, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
Protect yourself, don't trust it blindly.
yeah, exactly. We've run out of time, but I want to
No.
give you a moment to share any final thoughts you have on your experiences or the resilience industry in general. Any, you want to share anything?
Yeah, I believe that resilience isn't a cost, because a lot of people feel like, oh, there's 10 people in the business or one person is a huge cost. I feel that resilience as a discipline is an enabler. We are here to protect value, reputation, trust, people, our business, and understand where our criticalities lie. So we're an investment, and you get the return on it when something happens. Hopefully it doesn't, but when it does, people see the real value. So it's an enabler rather than something else. And that using technology and all that is great, but trust your own instincts and really foster the mindset that resilience is done through relationships as well. So not just your AI.
Yeah.
Enough said, mic drop.
Rena, thank you so much for sharing your time today. I really appreciate you joining us and having a chat.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me again. It was so fun.
Good, and I'll have to stop by Milton Keynes next time I'm in the UK and return the favor and hopefully
Yes.
you can interview me.
Yeah, you're not getting away with it. I can't do it. Thank you so much, Alex, for having me and everyone who's tuned in or
My
listening.
pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.